Hacks and vulnerabilities in vehicles. Importance of cybersecurity. Part 1. The agenda of the presentation is Introduction. How crucial is cybersecurity in automotive? Key factors associated with attacks. Attack vectors in cars. Threats of attack vectors. And vulnerability assessment of a vehicle. Introduction. A modern car uses a network of ECUs communicating via CAN bus to implement systems such as door locks, anti-lock braking systems, and engine control systems. CAN bus was first released by Bosch in 1985. In the pre-CAN days, ECUs relied on point-to-point wiring. The CAN bus system enables each ECU to communicate with all other ECUs without complex dedicated wiring. CAN bus is extremely vulnerable to attacks, but at the time of introduction, the vehicle's networks were isolated as there was no remote connectivity. So there was no risk of remote attack, hence no need for cybersecurity. Current vehicles are equipped with various wireless networks and other entry points that have large attack surfaces. Researchers have exploited vulnerabilities in vehicles and gained access to the safety-critical components both physically and remotely. Automotive industry has little historical experience of dealing with cybersecurity risks. Existing IT cybersecurity standards do not address unique automotive challenges such as safety, long life cycle, use of embedded controllers, etc. Automotive industry is in the process of developing a domain-specific standard, ISO 21434, which is still under development. What is hacking? Hacking is exploitation of a vulnerability in a system or software. Vulnerability is a weakness in a system that allows an attacker to reduce or completely remove the fundamentals of computer security. That's confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Threat is a possible danger that could exploit vulnerabilities. Attack is an attempt to gain unauthorized use of a system in order to expose, alter, disable, destroy, or steal an asset. Risk is the likelihood and impact of a possible threat or attack. Attacker is not always the hacker. The hacker does the research and the attacker attacks. What is hacking? How crucial is cybersecurity in automotive? Market for connected cars and autonomous cars is growing rapidly. As with any device that connects to the internet, there is a potential risk to automotive security from cyber criminals. Security breaches can result in leaked personal data and threats to a vehicle's essential security and safety mechanisms. There is an upcoming trend for automotive manufacturers to perform remote diagnostics and software updates over the air. SOTA. The introduction of SOTA brings many advantages for both the manufacturer and the driver. However, in terms of security, SOTA updates are highly critical as they need complete access to the CAN network. Cyber-physical features in cars require wireless communications and components with physical impacts. These features result in most security vulnerabilities and attacks in cars. Attacks can not only result in high material damages, but can also result in high danger for the occupants. Failure to address these risks could have a catastrophic effect on consumer confidence, privacy, and brand reputation, and worse, customer safety. Security is not an add-on feature, but is a design issue. The risk management should begin at concept phase. International Standard for Security in Automotive. Consider a scenario of airbag firing in a vehicle while it's accelerating. The driver loses control of the vehicle and results in a crash that seriously injures the driver. Possible causes of this event: hardware fault, software bug, or cyber attack. Compliance with ISO 26262, International Standard for Functional Safety, can prevent the airbag from firing as a result of hardware fault or software bug, or address in some manner, but not as a result of cyber attack. ISO 26262 does not have provision for security. The security standards for IT, ISO 27000 series, do not address safety critical systems either. Vehicle is a safety critical system where security exceptions are not tolerable and can lead to loss of life. Risk management is of utmost importance. The new upcoming ISO 21434 standard defines requirements for overall cybersecurity management for road vehicles. However, for connected car, the standard focuses only on the car and not the whole connected car environment. There's still a lack of standard for the whole connected car mobility system. International Standard for Security in This is a summary of cyber attacks on vehicles over the years. In 2016, a 2001 year bus was attacked by the OBD port, where the attacker took control of the gauges on the instrument cluster, engine RPM, and brakes. In the same year, 2016, a group of researchers found they could use off-the-shelf radio, sound, and light-emitting tools to deceive Tesla's autopilot sensors, in some cases causing the car's computers to perceive an object where none existed, and in others to miss a real object in the Tesla's path. In 2015, a Chevrolet Impala was attacked by the OBD port, where the attacker was unable to shift gears, the speedometer gave false readings, and the attacker killed the engine. In 2013, a Ford Escape was attacked by the OBD port, where the attacker disabled the brakes, took control of the steering wheel, spoofed GPS, and manipulated the vehicle lights. In 2015, a 2014 year Jeep Cherokee was attacked remotely, where the attacker took control of the engine, brakes, steering wheel, and air conditioning system. In the same year, 2015, a Renault Twizy was attacked in an experiment using Open Vehicle Monitoring System tool. The researchers were able to move the vehicle forward, backward, change the speed of the vehicle, and display false readings on the cluster. The tool plugs into the OBD port and allows the user to connect to the CAN bus to monitor parameters of the vehicle, such as state of battery charge for an electric vehicle. Several car manufacturers use this tool. In 2016, a Nissan Leaf was remotely attacked using a mobile app, where the attacker took unauthorized access to control the heated steering wheel, seats, fan, and aircon remotely. In the following slides, I shall explain the key factors associated with attacks that violate vehicle safety. Then I'll go through details of attack vectors and attack surfaces. I shall finish by assessing vulnerability of a 2014 year Jeep Cherokee by applying the key factors associated with attacks. Key factors associated with attacks. What are the key factors associated with attacks that violate vehicle safety? The first factor is attack surface. How big is the attack surface? Bluetooth, USB, cellular networks are all big attack surfaces. The second factor is cyber physical features. What features are present in the vehicle that will allow to physically control the targeted system in the vehicle? Cruise control, park assist, connected car, autonomous car are all cyber physical features. The third factor is internal network. How segmented are the ECUs which have physical control of the vehicle from those accepting external input? In the figures below, ABS and steering control modules have physical control of the vehicle and radio accepts external input. The first figure shows ECUs are not segmented as they are on the same network. So if an attacker exploits a vulnerability in the radio, he has easy access to ABS and steering control modules. The second figure shows ECUs are segmented as they are on different networks. So if an attacker exploits a vulnerability in the radio, he would have to go through the gateway module to get access to the ABS and steering control modules, which makes it more difficult. Cyber physical features. Cyber physical features perform physical actions through the input of message on the automotive network, such as park assist, adaptive cruise control, collision prevention, lane keep assist, connected car, and autonomous car. Cyber physical features have a great potential to enhance safety, efficiencies, and emissions by enabling better traffic flow. However, the features greatly increase attack surface and potential vulnerabilities in the vehicle. Cyber physical features give attacker built-in functionalities to control safety critical systems. The attacker does not need access to the CAN bus. Attack vectors in the car. These are the attack vectors in the car: GPS, remote keyless entry, OBD port, TPMS, USB, and all. Attack vector is a method or way by which a hacker can gain unauthorized access to the network or system. Attack vectors enable hackers to exploit vulnerabilities in the system. Attack vectors and exploits. OBD port. The attack surface on OBD port is large. OBD port provides access to CAN and Ethernet networks for diagnostics. An attacker could exploit the CAN bus connection on the OBD port to install a malicious diagnostic device to send packets to the CAN bus, plug directly into a CAN bus to attempt to start a vehicle without a key, plug directly into a CAN bus to upload malware, install a malicious diagnostic device to track the vehicle, install a malicious diagnostic device and communicate with it remotely in order to gain access to CAN bus, making normally internal attack now an external threat. All DOI protocols are prone to attack. DHCP can be attacked in order to reroute traffic. ARP spoofing attack allows an attacker to alter routing on a network, effectively allowing for a man-in-the-middle attack. ICMP allows attacker to send malformed ICMP packets to crash or freeze the system. With IP, attacker can send a packet with a target in both the source and the destination IP fields to crash the system due to the packet being repeatedly processed by the TCP stack, called land attack. TCP. To hijack the TCP session, the attacker creates a state where the client and the server are unable to exchange data and enables the attacker to mimic the acceptable packets for both ends. UDP. As UDP does not send sequence numbers like TCP, an attacker can inject datagrams into ongoing dialog streams to crash the system. Attack surfaces and exploits. Cellular connection. The attack surface is large. An attacker could exploit the cellular connection in a vehicle to access the internal vehicle network from anywhere. Exploit the application in the infotainment unit that handles incoming calls. Access subscriber identity module through the infotainment unit. Use a cellular network to connect to the remote diagnostic system. Eavesdrop on cellular communications. Jam distress calls. Track the vehicle's movements. And set up fake global system for mobile communications base station. Wi-Fi. Attack surface is large. An attacker could exploit the Wi-Fi connection to access the vehicle network from up to 300 yards away or more. Find and exploit in the software that handles incoming connections. Install malicious code on the infotainment unit. Break the Wi-Fi password. Set up a fake dealer access point to trick the vehicle into thinking it's being serviced. Intercept communications passing through the Wi-Fi network. Track the vehicle. Key fob. The attack surface is small. An attacker could exploit the key fob connection to send malformed key fob requests that puts the vehicle's immobilizer into an unknown state, actively probe the immobilizer to drain the car battery, lock out a key, capture cryptographic information leaked from the immobilizer during the handshake process, brute force the key fob algorithm, clone the key fob, jam the key fob signal, drain the battery in the key fob. Tire pressure monitoring system. Attack surface large. An attacker could exploit the TPMS connection to send an impossible condition to the ECU, causing a fault that could then be exploited. Trick the ECU into overcorrecting for spoofed road conditions. Put the TPMS receiver or ECU into an unrecoverable state that might cause the driver to pull over to check for a reported fault, or that might even shut down the vehicle. Track a vehicle based on the TPMS unique IDs. Spoof the TPMS signal to set off internal alarms. Infotainment console. Attack surface is probably the largest attack surface in the vehicle. An attacker could exploit the infotainment console connection to put the console into debug mode, alter diagnostic settings, install malware on the console, use a malicious application to access the internal CAN bus network, use a malicious application to eavesdrop on actions taken by vehicle occupants, use a malicious application to spoof data displayed to the user, such as vehicle location. USB. Attack surface large. An attacker could use a USB port connection to install malware on the infotainment unit, exploit a flaw in the USB stack of the infotainment unit, attach a malicious USB device with specially crafted files designed to break importers on the infotainment unit, such as the address book and MP3 decoders, install modified update software on the vehicle, short the USB port, thus damaging the infotainment system. Bluetooth. Attack surface large. An attacker could use a Bluetooth connection to execute code on the infotainment unit, exploit a flaw in the Bluetooth stack of the infotainment unit, upload malformed information such as corrupted address book designed to execute code, access the vehicle from close ranges less than 300 feet, jam the Bluetooth device. Radio on data system. Attack surface is small. An attacker could use RDS signal to inject forged information into radio systems, inject forged traffic information into sat-nav system. V2X. Attack surface large. There are two types of communication technologies used for V2X: dedicated short-range communication and cellular, both vulnerable to attack because of their transmission properties. V2X is in the early stage of development. The threats faced by V2X are mobile terminal connections to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi provide a relatively easier access to CAN. The applications on the mobile terminal are vulnerable to hackers because of its low threshold of development and easy accessibility. Attackers can passively intercept the network or actively invade vehicles to steal information. Vulnerability assessment of 2014 Jeep Cherokee. Assessing vulnerability by examining the three key factors associated with attacks: size of attack surface, segmentation of network architecture, and number of cyber-physical features. The entry points are remote keyless entry, Bluetooth, radio, cellular, Wi-Fi, proprietary radio, and Uconnect. The cyber-physical features are adaptive cruise control with stop and go, parallel and perpendicular parking assist, forward collision warning with crash mitigation, lane sense lane departure warning. The network diagram shows that the entry point ECUs are on the same network as the components that physically control the vehicle. They are not segmented. Analysis of Jeep Cherokee vulnerability assessment. Attack vectors. Jeep Cherokee has 6 entry points of wireless communications, all with large attack surfaces. So highly hackable attack surface. Cyber physical features. There are 5 cyber physical features, that is 5 features that have physical control of the vehicle. Not only does that increase the attack surface, but also gives the attacker built-in functionalities to hijack the vehicle. Layout of the network. Safety critical systems ECUs and ECUs with attack vectors are all on the same network bus. For hackers, it is easy access to safety critical systems. So, where did Jeep go wrong? Did the developers rely on security by obscurity? Or did the developers think that security was an add-on feature which can be added later? What is the lesson learned? Cybersecurity in automotive is not an add-on feature, but an integral part of product development. Summary. CAN network is vulnerable to attack. Driver safety can be put at risk once attackers gain access to the CAN network. Wireless networks are also vulnerable to attack. Every feature added to the car increases the level of risk. Cybersecurity is not an add-on feature. Risk-based approach should be applied to all stages of vehicle's life cycle. ISO 2-1434 cybersecurity standard for road vehicles is still under development. The standard will apply to vehicles' electronic systems, components and software, plus any external connectivity, but still falls short of covering the whole connected car mobility system. Thanks for watching the video. Click like if you found this useful, and click on subscribe button for more videos.